Israelite, Israelite, you are funny. Obviously, number one, you don't know what faith is. Number two, you haven't watched my videos. If you say I don't teach about having faith in Yeshua, which shows that you haven't done your homework. Okay? So, I mean, I don't know what your point is, but you're talking foolish. You are the one that's spiritually blind because you don't even know what you're reading when you read stuff. I'm looking at your comments here. I watch your videos, never heard you talk about having faith in Yeshua. Wrong, wrong, wrong. All right? This is where you go wrong because you are spiritually blind. Wrong, wrong. A spiritually blind person is not going to obey the Father and going to make excuses. Say, all I got to do is just believe. You think faith is just a pill. You just a Hebrew Christian. That's what you are. You think faith is a pill. Pop! Okay, now I don't have to do nothing. That shows stupidity, brother. Stupidity. Okay? Let me keep reading what else you said here. You can't keep the law apart from faith in Yeshua. You know, like I said, you don't know what faith is. Okay? If you've listened to one of my other videos, I pointed the whole thing out. That Yeshua was the last Adam. But you don't listen. You watch a few minutes into a video, and then you try to make like you know what you're talking about when you don't know jack. All right? Let me continue. It is our faith that the Father Yah credits to us as righteousness. Nope. Wrong. Wrong. It is our obedience, which is our faith, because even in Yaakov says faith without works is dead. If you don't have no works, then you don't have no faith. It's just that simple. Faith is not a pill. All right? Now, I only had to read that because it seemed like you stuck on the teachings of Paul that you think you know what you're talking about, but you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know what Paul's talking about. Paul knew the law. You don't know jack about the law. Okay? So whenever he's talking about the law, you don't know nothing about the law. You don't know nothing about the sacrifices, what they were for, how Israel was atoned for through sacrifices, which are representation of the Messiah. Okay? Which you don't know, more than likely, but the sacrifices are going to start right back up in the millennium. Because the sacrifices only are a shadow, and the shadow don't go away. Okay? A shadow reflects off of an image. As long as there's an image, there will always be a shadow, brother. Don't you forget it. All right, let me continue. What else you say on here? Why? Because he didn't. Oh, let me back up here. Moses kept the law better than you ever will, and the Father Yah didn't let him into the promised land. That had nothing to do with him. He didn't go into the promised land because he disrespected the Most High. If you was doing some reading instead of trying to be a teacher, going around with not knowing nothing, being stupid, being an idiot, then you trying to teach the teacher, you need to sit your little behind down and learn the word. Because you up here quote Christian doctrine. And as long as you quote Christian doctrine, you are going to be an idiot. Okay? Now, so I hope your feelings ain't hurt. I'm going to tell it to you like it is. You're being stupid. Right? Now, maybe you'll snap out of it.
37.
On the flips, okay, so Moses was not rejected from going into the kingdom because he didn't keep the commandments. Well, technically he was, because he didn't reverence the Most High, and it says it right there in the book why he didn't. Okay. Now,
he's going for the day.
Okay. So, what else did you say on here? Okay. Father Yah, and he broke one little commandment by hitting the rock instead of speaking to the rock. Okay. On the flip side, Caleb and Joshua believed Father Yah, and they could pass the land in spite of giants, and therefore they went into the promised land by faith. Okay. Well, faith is obedience. So you are basically contradicting yourself. Faith is obedience. So obedience to the law is faith. It's just that simple. But you can't see that because you are blind. Right? What else you say? On the flip side, Caleb and Joshua believed Father Yah, and they could possess the land in spite of giants, and therefore they went into the promised land by faith. Who did Yahshua bless and do healing miracles for? The law-keeping Pharisees? Nope, only for those who have faith in him. Okay? What's your point? Okay? What's your point about that? Okay? The whole nation of Israel saw miracles, brother. So what's your point? They didn't make it into the promised land. The Most High opened the Red Sea. That don't mean that they're going to make it to the promised land because they saw miracles. So what's your point? All right. These are all kinds of spiritual truths that you can't see because you're walking in the flesh. And if you paid any attention to my last video, Dodo Brain, you would understand walking in the flesh is walking in disobedience. All the works of the flesh, adultery, fornication, lasciviousness, everything that the law, the commandments of the Most High told us not to do, Dodo Brain. Okay? Now, these are all kinds of spiritual truths that you can't see because you're walking in the flesh are full of self-righteousness. That's right. That's right. We are supposed to be self-righteous. We're supposed to get ourselves right. Okay? If you think I'm self-righteous and I don't believe in the Messiah, then you have woefully been misinformed. Okay? Just because you believe in the Messiah does not mean that you're not supposed to obey. If you had any kind of scruples, you would realize that the Messiah said, if you love me, keep, not break, Dodo Brain, keep my commandments. All right? Now, if Moses didn't get into the promised land through keeping the law, neither will you. No, that's the only reason why you just contradict yourself. The only reason why Caleb and Joshua and the others went into the land because they obeyed the law, which, listen to the Most High, faith is obeying the law. You just contradict yourself. If Moses didn't obey the law by disrespecting the Most High, but Caleb and Joshua obeyed the Most High by listening and by taking him at his word and doing what he said do, and they made it into the land, then their faith was what? Doing what they were called or what they were supposed to do, which is keep the Most High's law. Okay? Now, Yahshua kept the law perfectly for us. I already addressed it in my video, so you rehashing something that I already talked about. He kept the law because he is the walking law and manifestation. Okay? Now, Galatians 5:4. There you go, quick. There you go, quoting Paul again. For the law is fulfilled in one word, even this, that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. All praise belong to Yahshua, for he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of Elohim, of Yah in him. Okay, so now, but you don't even know what that means. You don't even know what that means. There you go, quoting Paul again. Okay, in a nutshell, what you just read was, and I'll read it again, and I got a couple minutes. I'm trying to get this video in because I got a minute left. But he says, the law is fulfilled in one word, love thy neighbor. That's right, because the law is all about love, brother. From the beginning, the Most High said, love Yah with all your heart. That's what obedience means. Loving is showing that you obey it, because in the commandments, the Most High said, he said, showing mercy unto thousands of them who love me and keep my commandments. It should say, showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me by keeping my commandments. That's what he's talking about. Okay, so you don't know what you're talking about, brother. You're a young whippersnapper who's trying to make a name for yourself. All right, sit back and let somebody school you. That's what's happening right now. You're being schooled. All right, now let me get back. So, all praise belongs to Yahshua, for he had made him sin for us. I addressed that in the other video. It's called exchanging the grace for grace. Right? He took the sin. He became the last Adam so that we could be back to the position of the first Adam, to now we're before the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life, which is Yahshua. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is disobedience. And we have to make a decision from that point forward whether we're going to obey the Most High, which is eat from the tree of life, or disobey him and eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil and die. That's what the word is saying. That's what it means. And that's all I got for now. Shalom.